Everyone doing? Great. So good morning and welcome to the very first State of the County address. So can we just please start by giving Dr. Sam Page and his entire leadership team a round of applause for the amazing work. I'm pretty sure we can do a little bit better than that. Yes. So, and if you have not done so already, I would encourage you to take a look at the St. Louis County 2021 annual report. There are some amazing things in it that we can all be proud of. So my name is Elder Chantel Fisher, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Soul Fisher Ministries. We're a nonprofit here in St. Louis with a mission to respond to the needs of youth with incarcerated parents and to promote restorative justice for those currently or formerly incarcerated. And so we accomplish our mission through two programs. One is our Educate Now to Achieve Later program that operates in the Riverview Garden School District. And we go in and tutor kids and provide enrichment opportunities that make sure that we prepare them not only academically, but socially and emotionally as well. And our other program is our Agape Reentry program, and that program is in partnership with the Missouri Department of Corrections, and we work with women while they're in prison, and we transition with them back in the community where we work with them to make sure that they become contributing members in the St. Louis community. So again, welcome and thank you for the honor of being and giving the invocation. It's definitely an honor for me, Chantel Fisher, to be here at this momentous occasion. So as I considered my prayer for this morning, well, can I just pause and just brag a little bit? Do y'all mind? So I'm here at the Two Hill Theater on the campus of UMSL, University of Missouri, St. Louis, not Columbia. I'm sorry. And I happen to be an alum of the University of Missouri, St. Louis. A very proud alum, I might add. And I'm also a very proud alum of the Pierre Laclede Honors College on the campus of University of Missouri, St. Louis. Okay, so as I was saying, as I considered my prayer for this morning, I was reminded of Romans 13:1 that says, all authority comes from God, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by God. I also was reminded of Esther 4:14 that says, perhaps you were raised up for such a time as this. So as we consider our leaders and the tremendous call of service on their lives, let's consistently pray for them. I know so often we can get caught up in all of the hubbub that's going on around the world and complain, but just think of the commitment that it takes for each and every one of our leaders across the country to lay down their lives to a call of service to the people. Amen. So can we bow our heads, please? Heavenly Father, known by many names and yet beyond all names, Elohim, El Shaddai, Lord God Almighty, Jehovah Jireh, our provider, Jehovah Rapha, our healer, Jehovah Shalom, our peace, Prince of Peace, wonderful counselor, and the list goes on and on of who you are to your people and what you continue to do in the lives of your people. We ask your blessing on the people who have gathered here today and those who have been called to lead this great community in which we live, work, and play. Help them as leaders to not first ask, how do we fix this? But what do we need to learn? How might we need to change? And to whom do we need to listen? Remind them because we all forget sometimes, especially in times of uncertainty and unrest and the political debates that many plague them, that they are not only leaders, but also servants, and that it's their responsibility and ours to serve in ways that promote the greater good of all. Remind them that no matter where we live, everyone, gay, straight, transgender, black or white, Hispanic or Asian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, atheist, and, I cannot forget, the formerly incarcerated, is our neighbor. And we as leaders are called to love, honor, respect, and protect the least of these among us. Remind them of our children, the elderly, the poor, those who are hungry, those who are homeless, those who are ill in body, mind, or spirit, the strangers and immigrants in our midst, those who live on the margins, those who are alone, and those who are forgotten. Give them and us the wisdom to know what is right, good, and true. Give them and us the courage to move forward, even if it means leaving the distractors and the naysayers behind. Give them and us the boldness to pursue peace and justice, again, for the greater good of us all. Empower them and us to speak out when it is time to speak out, and listen patiently and respectfully when it is time to listen. May they and we always be guided by the spirit of community, by the spirit of justice, and by the spirit of love. In Jesus' name, amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing a rising sun of a new day begun,
Good morning, everyone. I am Kristen Sobolik, Chancellor of the University of Missouri St. Louis. And on behalf of our students, faculty, staff, and alumni, Chantel, we're very proud of you. I welcome you to the UMSL campus and to the E. Desmond Lee Theater at the Two Hill Performing Arts Center. We are hosting the 2022 State of the County Address, and we're very honored to do so. The UMSL community is also excited to have you visiting with us today, and it is such a pleasure to look out and see so many neighbors, friends, and community partners, including some of our local neighbors and elected officials we work with, as well as members of the St. Louis County Council. For nearly 6 decades, UMSL has remained committed to its mission to transform lives, to be a beacon of hope, as well as a leader in the pursuit of excellence in education, impactful research, and community service. And today, the University of Missouri St. Louis has earned and taken its place as a premier public research university. Through our academic programs and services, UMSL continues to climb in the U.S. News and World Report Best for Colleges rankings as a Tier 1 national university, rising 42 places in the last 2 years alone to earn the number 118 spot in the top, or 118 spot among all U.S. public universities. We offer our students a return on investment that has earned us recognition as a 100 top performer on social mobility, measuring UMSL's ability to improve the socioeconomic status of its students. With the largest alumni base in the St. Louis region, UMSL has more than 76,000 graduates living and working in Missouri, where they contribute more than $13.5 billion annually to Missouri's economy. Through our own operations, in fact, UMSL contributes more than $429 million annually in both direct and indirect economic impact, while supporting over 5,400 jobs in the St. Louis region. We are well positioned to increase our capacity to help address the complex needs of St. Louis. And next year, when the University of Missouri St. Louis celebrates its 60th anniversary, we will take the first steps toward a historic transformation of our campus, establishing a cohesive academic core, our campus on our North Campus, and building upon the physical, mental, and health sciences anchored on our South Campus, all while paving the way to revitalize an ambitious vision of establishing a North County business and workforce district anchored on the UMSL South Campus. In closing, we extend our sincere gratitude to County Executive Page and his leadership team for choosing the University of Missouri St. Louis campus to present the 2022 State of the County Address. It is our honor to host you this morning. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our wonderful UMSL students that have taken part in today's events. From our Triton ambassadors, who you met outside, Alex Entwistle, Priyanka New, Jay Gaskin, Star Logan, Amanda Lopez, and Chelsea Smith, to the soloists that you just heard, Madeline James and Swabu Jefferson, and to our pianist, Dancel Kim. Thank you for shining so bright this morning. You absolutely do us proud. Finally, I want to recognize UMSL's leadership team and our members of our Chancellor's Council who are joining us this morning. Again, thank you and welcome to UMSL.
Good morning. My name is Alexia Anastasia. I'm the daughter of new immigrants from Eastern Europe to the United States, a senior at Lindbergh High School, and a member of the St. Louis County Youth Advisory Council. I am grateful to Dr. Page for providing me with the opportunity to serve as a member of the Youth Advisory Council, helping me shape the future in St. Louis County. Through my contributions to the Youth Advisory Council of the St. Louis County regionally and the Youth Preparedness Council of FEMA nationally, I have become increasingly convinced that the pressing community problems can only find solutions through the inclusion of an array of voices. However, too often, too few voices are at the table making decisions that affect us all. Our county executive, Dr. Sam Page, shares the passion for bettering the community through the broad representation of diverse voices. Dr. Page and the County Council realize that creating a Youth Advisory Council brings a new generation of voices into the conversation and ensures that St. Louis County is inclusive, engaging, and inviting. The Youth Advisory Council has been charged with identifying and making recommendations for community programs and services needed for youth in our region. My group has been working hard to propose ways to increase civic engagement and participation among young people, thus helping prepare our next generation of leaders. Today, I have the honor of introducing St. Louis County Executive Dr. Sam Page. During the past 2 years, Dr. Page has led us through this pandemic while working to improve county services to make the region a more inviting place to work, live, and play. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our County Executive, Dr. Sam Page.
Thank you. And thank you, Alexia, and good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining me here today, and thank you to UMSL and Chancellor Kristen Soblik for hosting us in this beautiful theater. We in St. Louis County are fortunate to have so many great educational and cultural institutions, and standing here today serves as a reminder. If you're like me, you like to plan. You like to have a schedule and to stay efficient, on course, and ensure you don't forget a meeting or an appointment. But with the best laid plans come this thing called life. It can quickly upend our schedules, and today is one such example. The State of the County address should have been held in January to mark 1 year since I was sworn into office. But the pandemic has cast a long shadow over our lives in the past 2 years and brought a new variant, and with it, a record number of COVID-19 cases. So we hit pause on gathering. Today, COVID remains a part of our community, but it's no longer overwhelming our hospitals. Our infection rate is low, and St. Louis County has the highest vaccination rate in the state. And I stand here today cautiously optimistic that the worst of the pandemic is behind us. The pandemic occupied a great deal of our time. Saving lives was the priority, and we worked hard to provide testing and vaccine sites to help keep residents safe. We knew little about the virus early on, but we relied on history to map out our response. The pandemic disproportionately impacted Black and brown communities, and we responded by putting our resources where they were needed the most. And that included the first mass vaccination clinic at Florissant Valley Community College. What many people may not know is that while the pandemic was raging, the employees of St. Louis County were working harder than ever. County government never closed. In fact, our employees figured out ways to improve the way we do business, providing more services online and creating a one-stop shop at the administration building in Clayton. Every year, my office puts out an annual report highlighting the work of each of our departments. And a copy of the annual report is with me here today, right here. I'm proud of it. It reminds me of our incredible workforce and the efforts made by our employees to make the state's largest county a great place to live, work, and play. And during the pandemic, innovation and the drive to do better was evident. On your program today is a QR code that will take you to the annual report. I encourage you to take a look at it. And members of my cabinet are here today, and I want to take a moment to recognize them. Would you all please stand? Thank you. Their leadership through a challenging year was remarkable. Thank you. While there's not enough time today to go through every part of the annual report, I want to quickly point out some of the highlights. Our customer service division, known as 311, helped 56,000 people who visited county offices in person. Another 46,000 phone calls and 2,000 emails were answered. And getting easy answers to how government works is at the core of our mission to be of service to everyone. Interacting with another human is still the preferred choice by most people. Our Human Services Department, led by Howard Hayes, hosted over 200 hiring events across a variety of industries and created new partnerships to bolster workforce programs and job opportunities. We must do everything we can to provide opportunities to gain experience and success in the workforce. Thanks to our labor groups for stepping up to help train and grow a robust workforce. Human Services also helped us get more than $29 million in rental assistance to residents that struggled during the pandemic. A second round of emergency rental assistance funds are going out now to help thousands more of our residents. At our Justice Center, Scott Anders and his team are committed to doing all we can to provide success once detainees leave our care. They are provided use of a tablet that gives them access to educational materials to prepare them for their GED, as well as an online law library. With the tablets, jail residents can email and have video calls with family members, virtually participating in events like a birthday party or visiting with a hospitalized family member. During the pandemic, with less time interacting with others, these tablets were a game changer in behavior, morale, and connecting our detainees with their loved ones. We have partnerships with St. Louis Community College and St. Louis University to provide college courses for those in our care. And we have a culinary program that, once completed, guarantees jobs once they leave the Justice Center. And our building trades are working with detainees as well to help them get a leg up once they get out. The jail has organized chess tournaments and poetry contests, and next month pickleball equipment will be donated to our detainees, and they'll be taught how to play this popular sport. And a Women's Leadership Development Program was launched just last month to encourage and assist our female correction officers to become leaders at the Justice Center. Maxine Clark, founder of Build-A-Bear, and Delmar Devine kicked off the program. Use of force cases, including pepper spray, tasers, and restraint chairs, decreased by 60% in 2021 at the Justice Center. An outside review of the Justice Center, supported by my office, is currently underway, and we look forward to the results so we can build on the progress we have made in the past few years. I know everyone has a favorite season. Mine is spring. The days get longer, the temperatures get warmer, and everything begins to bloom. That also means more people are heading to our county parks, where several exciting projects are underway to enhance the spaces we like to hike, walk, bike, and explore. Last June, under the leadership of Tom Ott, 155 acres of land adjoining Greensfelter Park was transferred to St. Louis County. Thank you to the Open Space Council, Missouri Department of Conservation, and the Conservation Fund for their partnership to secure this valuable green space for our residents to enjoy. The county also partnered with the Missouri Prairie Foundation to establish 40 acres of prairie at Creve Coeur Park. And at Faust Park, the oldest surviving one-room schoolhouse for African Americans in the state is being restored, and it will become part of the park's historic village. After decades in private ownership, it was donated to the county. The Parks Foundation paid to disassemble and transport and raising money for its restoration. Our planning department is working to help bring St. Louis Zoo's Wildcare Park to Spanish Lake. And this will be more than a 400-acre conservation and tourism attraction in North County. And the department is assisting in the redevelopment of the former MetLife campus on Tesson Ferry Road into a 100-acre mixed-use development, bringing an exciting new housing and retail project to South County. Public safety will always be a priority, and all of our departments are working together to create a safe and welcoming St. Louis County. Crime is a concern for all of us, and our police department cleared an incredible 96% of homicide cases last year. The department, under the leadership of Chief Kenneth Gregory, continues to look at ways to improve the way it serves the community. Working with the police board, the department has put into place many of the recommendations of the Teneo report. And that includes working more closely with the city of St. Louis in border areas where crime is a challenge. These efforts have paid off with a reduction in crime and praise from the residents. The department's community outreach unit focuses on the Castle Point area, and they've done so since 2021. In the North County community, the unit coordinated a youth camp and organized a community event celebrating Juneteenth. The unit also volunteered at the diaper bank and worked with the St. Louis Chess Club for a program for youth in Jennings. The Department of Public Health has been in the spotlight for the past 2 years. They've led the response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the only county health department in the state to provide clinical services. Staff quickly responded to the pandemic by opening testing sites, then holding vaccine events throughout the county, partnering with fire districts, schools, churches, and other places of worship, businesses, and other community partners. And health department staff took vaccines to the most vulnerable, including those living in nursing home facilities and those who are homebound. In April, when vaccinations were at their peak, the health department was providing 16,000 to 18,000 vaccinations per week. The department partnered with barbershops and beauty salons in North County to help share information on the importance of COVID vaccines. Last May, the Missouri legislature finally passed legislation creating a prescription drug monitoring program, becoming the last state in the country to do so. However, 4 years earlier, St. Louis County led the way and launched its own program when I was chairman of the county council. Operated by the county's health department, the program grew to serve 85% of the state's population and 94% of the healthcare providers. Opioid overdoses are a public health crisis across the United States and here in St. Louis County. Earlier this year, Missouri reached a $458 million settlement with 4 of the biggest drug distributors and manufacturers in the U.S. Of that, St. Louis County will receive about $44 million to use in treatment and prevention programs right here. Getting these funds is a major moment in the opioid battle, but it's far from over. St. Louis County has cases against other defendants in the opioid industry, and we will continue our tireless pursuit for justice and accountability. Our employees in the Department of Transportation and Public Works remained out in the community during the pandemic, repairing and rebuilding streets and bridges and preparing our roads for winter weather. Here are a few stats. The Transportation Division filled 15,000 potholes last year and poured more than 12,000 tons of asphalt to make our streets safer. Hopefully, that results in a few less alignments for you and me. They also painted more than 2,100 miles of road lines and mowed more than 1,300 acres of grass. During the 2021 winter season, transportation workers responded to 8 winter storms and laid down more than 16,000 tons of salt to help you and your family make it to work and school safely. These are impressive numbers, and I appreciate all the hard work of our road crews. A transportation project that I am particularly proud of is securing an $18.2 million grant for the West Florissant Great Streets project. This project will reconstruct about 1.5 miles of West Florissant Avenue through the towns of Delwood and Ferguson. The project will include a shared use path, upgrades to transit stops, new traffic signals, medians, new crosswalks, and ADA compliant sidewalks. Thank you to the Federal Highway Administration and our congressional delegation for making this project possible. The department also collaborated with the county IT department to upgrade the permitting system, which allows customers to track and manage permit applications. The upgrade has been in the works for a decade, and 2 years ago, my administration committed to seeing this project through. Thank you to the regional permitting Collaborative for partnering with us on this project that will lead to even more robust economic development for our community. We continue doing all we can to make it easier to do business in St. Louis County. One of our county gems is the Spirit of St. Louis Airport in Chesterfield. In 2021, it had its biggest year since 2007. And this year, it will host its popular Air Show and STEM Expo this June, and featuring the Blue Angels. And last year, the airport partnered with the Ferguson-Florissant School District, Elite Aviation Flight School, and the Crossing Church for the Red Tail Cadet program. 6 students went through the 7-week program, which included flight instruction, financial literacy, and other business skills. 4 of the students were able to fly solo. Plans are already underway for next year's class of cadets. The pandemic took its toll on many lives and livelihoods. Many businesses had to close and struggled to find workers as they reopened. But there was good economic development news from 2021. The St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, led by Rodney Krim, worked to retain and recruit businesses to the county, announcing projects throughout the year. And here are some of the examples. Accenture Federal Services opened a new service center in Town and Country, which will bring 1,400 jobs to St. Louis County. Accenture, along with the county's workforce development program, developed an apprenticeship program to train and attract a more diverse workforce. This initiative is a win for our region as it demonstrates how the public and private sectors can work together to build the talent base we need to ensure our economy continues to grow and prosper. Bio Research and Development Growth Park is investing in a $78 million technology and laboratory upgrade at 39 North in Creve Coeur. This is home to Benson Hill, a growing company creating 300 new jobs. Gateway Studios, a state-of-the-art production services company, invested $111 million in the development of a new complex for the entertainment industry in Chesterville. This will bring more than 100 new jobs to the region, and some of the biggest entertainment acts in the country will come to St. Louis to prepare for their shows around the world. Thanks to Governor Parson and our state's economic development teams for supporting projects like this in our community. Gray Eagle, a major regional beverage distribution company, invested $21.4 million to expand its business in Fenton, retaining 225 jobs. Patheon Biologics is investing $86 million in its Berkeley location, creating 169 new jobs and retaining 669 others. R&S Machine, an aerospace component manufacturer, is making a $13.5 million investment in expanding its South County operations. That will create 60 new jobs and retain 48 other jobs. By listing these, I'm omitting even more, but I do this to show the depth of St. Louis County's effort to retain and attract jobs. We've accomplished a great deal in the span of a year. We've just been too busy to tell you about it. And 2022 is proving to be just as busy. We're barely a third of the way through the year, and our list of accomplishments is already impressive. In economic news, Davidson Logistics announced it's expanding in Bridgeton, growing its footprint in the St. Louis logistics market by converting the old KV Pharmaceutical building in Bridgeton into a warehouse for more storage space and manufacturing capabilities. The new facility will create at least 100 new full-time jobs in its first phase of expansion, with another 100 expected over the next few years. And for the first time in 20 years, we will have nonstop flights to Europe from St. Louis. Those Lufthansa flights begin taking off in June. Thank you to Greater St. Louis, Inc., the World Trade Center, and Lambert for your commitment to connecting St. Louis to the rest of the world. Across the county, we're focusing on projects in areas that have been historically underrepresented. For example, 2 federal grants have been applied for that would fundamentally change Kinloch Park and make it the centerpiece of North County. Kinloch was the first town in Missouri to be incorporated by African Americans. We must make sure we're investing and reinvesting in all of our neighborhoods. including those that have fallen on hard times with population declines, poverty, and crime. One of my proudest moments this year came in response to a very dark moment in our country. The ongoing efforts to block and even make it illegal to have access to reproductive and sexual health services is dangerous and shameful. And that's why last month I signed an executive order committing St. Louis County's Department of Public Health to continue to provide and expand equitable access to reproductive and sexual health services, including contraceptives. The political talk about pro-life and pro-choice leaves out those who are directly impacted. And those talks fail to make a part of the conversation many forms of safe and effective contraception. Also last month, I was honored to sign a bill that adds gender expression to anti-discrimination protections for St. Louis County workers, including contractors and non-civil service employees. Transgender members of our community are under attack for being who they are, and the newly signed legislation ensures St. Louis County is a welcoming and inclusive place to work. Thank you to the Council, Promo, and the Human Rights Campaign for your work on this bill. As most of you know, St. Louis County has received federal funds to help in our response to the pandemic. In collaboration with the County Council, we just completed 7 town halls asking residents for their input on how to spend more than $80 million from the American Rescue Plan Act, commonly referred to as ARPA. I put together a community outreach team to oversee the town halls and the accompanying online survey. We look forward to sharing the priorities residents have for these funds and how they should be spent in our communities. The county will also be receiving funds from the $1 trillion infrastructure bill, which will allow us to make our way through a long list of road and bridge improvements that the county has not been able to address for years because of limited funding. Safe drinking water, expanding access to high-speed internet, and investing in projects that help fight the imminent threat that is climate change, these must be priorities. These projects will provide hundreds of jobs and create a safer, more connected St. Louis County. And we look forward to announcing many of these projects over the next few years. One infrastructure project that we've had long on our priority list is rebuilding Airport Road, a 1.7-mile stretch of pavement that runs through Berkeley and Ferguson. And I'm happy to announce today that the $3.3 million project is in the design phase and construction will begin next year. This was a project that was in the pipeline before the new federal infrastructure funds were announced and will not rely on those new funds to move forward. More than 22,000 motorists a week use this section of Airport Road connecting Interstate 170 to Florissant Road, and this will be much more than a repaving project. Deteriorated sidewalks and curbs will be removed and replaced, new traffic signals installed, and 60 new wheelchair accessible ramps built. This is a critical roadway for North County, and the work will make pedestrian and vehicle traffic much safer. When I'm out in the community, I'm often asked, what's going on? A lot, I say, wishing I had a copy of the annual report to share at that moment. What I typically say is that we're working our way past this pandemic, focusing on our economy, keeping our community safe, and making sure that public health remains a robust service for our residents, especially those with no other access to health care. We're working to make sure our seniors are cared for with access to quality, affordable housing, health care, and recreation, and that community engagement includes their input. I want to acknowledge Prosecuting Attorney Wesley Bell, whose office just last week announced the launch of an Elder and Disabled Persons Abuse Hotline. I thank him for his work in protecting our seniors and vulnerable residents. Thank you. We're also listening closely to our young people to build a future they deserve. Members of our Youth Advisory Council are here, including Alexia, who so kindly introduced me. Their input is critical, and we're happy to have their voices as part of the conversation. We must do all we can to create a community for the next generation, a community young people see as a place filled with opportunity, excitement, and a future they can build on. A place to be healthy, safe, and successful, and our Youth Advisory Council will help us get there. As attorneys for the city, county, and regional sports authority continue negotiating how the Rams money should be divided, we've been asked what should be done with the funds once the county has its share of more than $500 million. That's a good question, and one we don't yet have an answer for. My office created a template for community engagement with the ARPA funds, and we could use that format again to get input on these dollars. We don't have a timeline on when the Rams funds must be spent, and there are no restrictions on how to use them, like we have with the federal pandemic relief funds. I see the NFL settlement funds as an investment in our future, an investment in the next generation. We don't want to rush that process. St. Louis County is blessed with talent, resources, and a can-do spirit. Let's build on it, nourish it, and make certain that everyone has the opportunity to succeed, to realize that dreams can come true. So much discourse makes its way into the spotlight. The former administration here and in Washington set that table, and it's time to disrupt once and for all this tired, dangerous narrative and keep talking about what matters. How can we do better? How can we be better? How can we prepare this world for our kids and grandkids? And my wife Jenny and I think about this as parents of 3 boys who grew up more quickly than we were ready to accept. We want them safe, we want them happy, and we want them to be successful. My administration is looking at the next 4 years and what the priorities should be. We'll build on our work of a more inclusive St. Louis County. At our core, we all want to feel safe and part of a community that provides opportunities to succeed, to be heard, and to belong. Challenges come at us that we don't often expect. COVID hit us fast and hard and didn't want to let up. Challenges will always be a part of us. It's how we respond to those challenges, however, that chart our course. As a doctor, as a father, as an elected leader of this great county, I want nothing but the best for St. Louis County. Nothing in the county would get done if it weren't for our employees working directly with the community each day, fixing our roads, answering phones, running health clinics, and helping to connect our older adults with services. Some of those employees are here today. They're the backbone of government. Please join me in saluting them. Would you stand up, any county employees that are here? Because of their determination and ingenuity, I can declare that the state of our county is strong, and I can assure you that the future of St. Louis County is bright. As so many of our employees remind me, stay the course, focus on the good, and work on what matters. Tune out the noise meant to distract us. Those who try to waylay good intentions, hard work, and progress do so because moving forward leaves them behind. And we've made it through an incredibly challenging time. We are holding our collective breath that the pandemic is in the rearview mirror. And we've been through some of our darkest moments, but we see the light. Thank you to everyone here, to everyone in the community who worked to help us get to this point. St. Louis County should be proud of all that we've accomplished in such a short time, but rest assured, we are just getting started. I'm so proud to be your county executive and of my team's continued work to build brighter futures, open more doors, and listen to more voices. We are following our strategic plan that we put into place last year, which includes protecting the health and safety of all residents, building an inclusive and equitable St. Louis County, and creating a government that is accessible to all. If we are leaving one person behind, then we have not succeeded. Work with me and let me know how we can do better. As a region, we must work together. We're growing, but not fast enough. Let's grow together. Let's show the rest of the country that this is where opportunities abound, where success is within reach, and where families put roots down to be part of great schools, diverse neighborhoods, and to enjoy some of the best recreational and cultural institutions anywhere. So as you leave here today, I ask this of you. Give of your time, your patience, your experience, your helping hand. It takes all of us doing just a little bit more to see the headline we want, that the St. Louis region is one of prosperity, innovation, and inclusion, a place where everyone sees their future. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Page. Thank you for your words, and thank you and all who work on our behalf to make St. Louis County the wonderful place it is. I am Rabbi Brigida Rosenberg from United Hebrew Congregation. We are not only the oldest synagogue in the St. Louis region, but we are the oldest synagogue west of the Mississippi River. In a week and a half, Jews around the world will celebrate the festival of Passover, a festival of freedom and new beginnings. There is a section in the Passover liturgy called Dayenu, which means it would have been enough, in which we offer our gratitude for the amazing blessings God has given. Even just one blessing alone would have been enough. God giving us the Torah, the Exodus, the Sabbath. Dayenu focuses our attention on what we have, the blessings that are right in front of us, which so often we may not notice because we are so focused on what we lack or focused on what still needs to get done. So let us conclude with blessings of gratitude and the recognition of the amazing work that is being done in St. Louis County. Source of all life, we open our hearts in gratitude and take a moment to reflect on all the blessings before us. For even one of these blessings, these accomplishments, Dayenu, it would have been enough. That the county COVID infection rate is low and so many are vaccinated, Dayenu. That county employees have never stopped their important work, adapting and innovating to keep county offices running, ensuring that facilities and infrastructure were safe and cared for, and working directly with the community, allowing all of us to feel safe and to continuing to live life, Dayenu. That important work is being done around justice at the Justice Center and work being done with public safety and with our police departments, Dayenu. That we have amazing county parks which allow us to hike, explore, and enjoy the beauty of natural green spaces, Dayenu. That we are moving forward on important infrastructure projects to ensure not only the safety of all our residents, but creating beautiful, well-cared-for spaces, Dayenu. That we continue to attract businesses and grow our local economy, Dayenu. That we are doing the important and necessary work to be an inclusive and safe place to live and work for all who call St. Louis County home, Dayenu. That we are part of a community, St. Louis County, that provides opportunities to succeed, to be heard, and to belong, Dayenu. For all these things we stand eternally grateful. As we go forth from here, source of all blessing, unite us in the work of creating a more vibrant, inclusive, safe, diverse, loving St. Louis County. And through our work, may we grow in blessings. Let us go forth inspired, and may we go from strength to Dayenu. Amen. And this concludes our State of the County.